The 2026 F1 season hasn't even started, and Aston Martin is already sounding the alarm. Only 48 hours ago, Honda made a shocking admission that could derail Fernando Alonso's final shot at a title. This was supposed to be the year the Silverstone Super Team finally took control. You have Lawrence Stroll's billions, Adrian Newey designing the chassis, and Honda returning as a dedicated factory engine partner. On paper, it looks like the perfect combination to end the Red Bull and Mercedes dominance. But the reality hitting the news cycle this week is brutal. On January 12th, Honda Racing Corporation President Koji Watanabe broke the silence, and he did not stick to the usual PR script. Instead of promising victory, he admitted that development is a, quote, mixed bag, and that they are openly struggling with the new 50/50 electric power regulations. This comes just weeks before the car launch on February 9th. While Red Bull, Ford, and Mercedes are rumored to be utilizing a large loophole, Aston Martin's engine partner is scrambling to fix reliability issues. The paddock is currently buzzing with questions about whether Lawrence Stroll built a billion-dollar house of cards. We should examine exactly what Honda admitted, because for a Japanese manufacturer, this level of honesty is rare. Koji Watanabe told reporters on January 12th that they are behind on their self-imposed targets. The main issue sits with the new battery technology. The 2026 regulations demand a large increase in electrical power by tripling the output of the hybrid system to equal the internal combustion engine. Honda says they are struggling to pack that much capacity into a light enough unit without overheating. Watanabe called the situation, quote, not fatal, but admitted they are advancing incrementally, while others might be miles ahead. This is the same company that endured a nightmare return with McLaren in 2015. Hearing them use words like struggle so close to the season opener has shocked the Aston Martin fanbase. If the power unit isn't ready by the February homologation deadline, Adrian Newey's aerodynamic genius will not matter. You cannot out-design a slow engine on the Straits of Bahrain. The situation worsens because while Honda is battling reliability issues, their rivals might have found a major advantage. Reports surfaced this week that Mercedes and Red Bull Ford have discovered a gray area in the combustion rules. The 2026 regulations limit the engine compression ratio to 16:1. Rumors suggest these two manufacturers found a way to run higher compression ratios once the engine is hot and expanding, technically staying legal during cold checks, but gaining huge power on track. Honda, along with Ferrari and Audi, is furious. They argue this violates the spirit of the rules. The FIA has called an emergency technical meeting for January 22nd to sort this out. If the loophole stands, Aston Martin could start the season with a significant horsepower deficit. This reveals the dark side of F1 engineering, where success depends on reading the rulebook creatively rather than just building the best engine. If you are finding this analysis interesting, please subscribe and hit the notification bell as we cover breaking F1 stories like this every week. We can now return to the aerodynamic ace up Aston Martin's sleeve. Here is the positive aspect that keeps the dream alive. Adrian Newey, he officially started at Silverstone in March 2025, which means the AMR 26 is the first car to carry his genuine influence. Unlike his late arrival at other teams, he has had nearly a full year to influence this chassis. Reports from the wind tunnel suggest the active aero systems on the new car are extreme. The 2026 cars are smaller, narrower, and rely heavily on movable wings to reduce drag. If anyone can recover a horsepower deficit through sheer aerodynamic efficiency, it is Newey. He did it for Red Bull during the Renault engine era by winning titles with a power unit that lacked power. The hope is that he has packaged the cooling systems so tightly that the car moves through the air better than anything Mercedes puts on the grid. Many observers forget that the engine is only half the equation, as the fuel is the other half. In 2026, every car must run on 100% sustainable synthetic fuel. This resets the combustion challenge entirely. Aston Martin has Aramco, the world's largest oil producer, working exclusively for them, while Mercedes has to supply fuel specs that work for McLaren and Williams too. Aramco can create a mixture that is chemically perfect for just the Honda engine. Insiders estimate this custom fuel blend could be worth up to 20 horsepower. It is a chemical advantage that does not show up on a dyno sheet until the fuel is actually injected. If Honda's hardware is struggling, Aramco's chemistry might be the solution that saves the season. They have been testing these blends in Formula 2 for a year to gather data that no other top team can access. Fernando Alonso is 44 years old. He signed that extension through 2026 for one reason, which was his belief that this was the winning opportunity. His comments over the winter have been fascinating. He keeps saying success is, quote, inevitable, but he questions the timing. He knows he does not have 5 years to wait for Honda to solve their problems. He needs the car to work immediately. The pressure he puts on the team is immense. Alonso has driven the simulator version of the AMR 26 more than any other driver. If the correlation between the sim and the track is off, we will know about it the moment he steps out of the car in Barcelona. He is not the type to hide his frustration. If that Honda engine is slow, the radio messages in Bahrain will be legendary. For the first time in its history, this team is not a customer, but rather the factory squad. That means no more compromising their rear suspension to fit a Mercedes gearbox. They designed their own gearbox casing to fit Newey's extreme packaging requirements. This freedom is expensive, but necessary. When you buy an engine from Mercedes, you get what they give you. When you are Honda's partner, you tell them where to put the turbocharger so you can slim down the side pods. This integration is where the lap time is found in 2026. Even if the engine is slightly down on power, the overall car package could be lighter and have a lower center of gravity than the competition. It is a high-risk strategy, but it is the only way to beat a giant like Red Bull. The irony of this entire situation is the Red Bull connection. Honda left Red Bull, forcing the champions to partner with Ford. Now, we have a direct competition between the team that Honda built into a winner versus the team Honda is trying to save. If Red Bull Ford comes out of the gate with a fast, reliable engine and Aston Martin Honda struggles, it will be a PR disaster for the Japanese brand. Consider the alternative, however. If Ford struggles with their first ever in-house battery unit and Honda's experience pays off, Aston Martin looks like geniuses. The paddock rumors suggest Ford is hitting their own targets, but they are rookies in this hybrid challenge. Honda has the experience from 2015 to learn from. They might be hiding their true performance now to lower expectations before they surprise everyone in Bahrain. Mark your calendars for February 9th, which is the launch date for the AMR 26, we will not just see a livery, but we will see the first real interpretation of the Newey era. The behavior of Lawrence Stroll and Koji Watanabe on that stage will tell us everything. If they talk about long-term projects and building phases, you know the dyno numbers are bad. If they talk about challenging for wins immediately, then the rumors of their struggles were exaggerated. The clock is ticking. The FIA technical meeting on January 22nd regarding the engine loophole could change the regulations before the car even launches. Aston Martin is operating in a precarious position between glory and disaster, while the pressure is mounting. This season is more than just another championship fight, as it is the biggest test of the modern F1 super team model. Aston Martin tried to buy success by assembling an elite engineering team led by Newey, Cardile, and Cowell and pairing them with a factory engine. If this fails, it proves that culture and continuity matter more than checkbooks. A failure here could see Lawrence Stroll end his massive investment or even see Max Verstappen turn down any future offers to join. If the strategy works, however, it ends the Mercedes and Red Bull duopoly overnight. It proves that Honda was right to come back. We're looking at a potential changing of the guard or the most expensive failure in sporting history. The margins in 2026 are razor thin, and right now, Aston Martin is facing a situation with almost no margin for error. The AMR 26 launch is less than a month away, and the truth about Honda's engine is about to be revealed on the track. Whether they have built a success or a failure, we will be covering every update from that January 22nd meeting right here. Thanks for watching, and if you want to stay ahead of the grid this season, please subscribe.